Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 11th biology students, and this is for 8th October 2020. We are into the revision mode and we were revising chapter number 2, biological classification, and in that we were studying in our previous session kingdom Monera and various groups under kingdom Monera. What are the various characteristics of that? What are the various technical words? All that we discussed. And moving ahead, today we are going to study about Kingdom 2, Second Kingdom, as part of the 5 Kingdom classification of Whittaker. So Kingdom Protista it includes chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds, and protozoans, which we are very familiar. It includes all unicellular and colonial eukaryotes. Most of them are aquatic farming planktons. Mode of nutrition may be photosynthetic, saprophytic, parasitic, holozoic. Flagella present are 11 standard. Remember last time we discussed 9+2 arrangement of microtubules composed of tubulin. That's a protein. And genetic material consists of 2 or more DNA molecules. So Protista includes diatoms and golden algae desmids found in fresh water as well as marine water. In diatoms, cell wall forms 2 thin overlapping cells which fit together as in a soap box. The siliceous indestructible cell wall pile up at the bottom of water reservoirs and form big heaps called diatomaceous earth. Normally in your competitive exams this will be asked, what is diatomaceous earth? It may extend for 100 meters and used for polishing, filtration of oils and syrups. They are chief producers in the ocean. They are basically unicellular, motile, biflagellate and photosynthetic protists. So predominant color is golden brown, but yellow, green, red and even blue also exists. Some dinoflagellates like Gymnodinium and Gynolax grow in large numbers in the sea and make the water look red and cause the so-called red tide or red sea. So you must remember these 2 dinoflagellates, Gynolax and Gymnodium, because in many competitive exams they will ask you red sea is red in color because. So you must write because of the presence of dinoflagellates. They are euglena like unicellular flagellates which possess pellicle instead of cell wall, which makes their body flexible. They have 2 flagella, one short, one long. They are photosynthetic in presence of sunlight and act as predators in the absence of sunlight. So they are using both. So example, euglena and Perenema. Slime molds. Next we go to the slime molds. They are saprophytic protists, feeds on decaying twigs and leaves. Under favorable condition, they form an aggregation called plasmodium, which produce fruiting bodies bearing spores. The cell wall of the spores contain cellulose. The spores are dispersed by air currents. Example, Physarum and Fuligo. So slime molds, I think what is important is formation of spores. So the spore formation has started. And the protozoans on the other hand, of course many of the protozoans you must have seen under microscope. All protozoans means first formed. Proto means first, or primitive, zoan means animal, first formed animals. Protozoans are heterotrophs and lives as predators or parasites. They are considered as primitive relatives of animals. Amoeboids move and capture food by pseudopodia. Some are parasitic also. Flagellated protozoans are free living and parasitic. They have flagella. Ciliated, of course, paramecium, you remember, you must have seen under microscope. Ciliated protozoans are aquatic and have cilia all over the body movement. And the sporozoans include organisms that have infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. So basically, it's a four: amoeboids, flagellated ones, ciliated ones, and sporozoans. So in this again, what is to be remembered is the amoeboid ones, pseudopodia, and the ciliated ones, and sporozoa. So there is plasmogamy. Gamy means fusion, fusion of plasma, fusion of male and female gametes. Karyogamy, karyon means nucleus, fusion of two nuclei, and meiosis in zygote to produce haploid spores. And now we go to the phycomycetes, that is, these are found in aquatic habitat and on decaying wood in moist and damp places. The mycelium, this is important, mycelium is aseptate, means there is no division, septa is not there, and this is the technical word you must remember, xenocytic, a single cell having many nuclei. Multinucleated cell is called xenocytic cell. Asexual reproduction by zoospores and aplanospores, example mucus, rhizopus, albigo. So we are into the kingdom fungi. So kingdom fungi is divisible into ascomycetes, phycomycetes, deuteromycetes, and basidiomycetes. So in ascomycetes, moving ahead, it's called sac fungi. Again, technical word you must remember, ascomycetes. They are saprophytic, decomposers, parasitic, and coprophilous, that is growing on dung. Mycelium and branched, septate, and asexual spores are conidia. Sexual spores are called ascospores, produced inside the fruiting body called ascocarp. Example, neurospora, aspergillus, and claviceps. Next, basidiomycetes. Basidiomycetes is called club fungi. Again, you must remember this name. In many of the NEET exams, they will ask this question. So, the mycelium is branched and septate. Vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. Asexual spores are not found. Sexual reproduction is by two vegetative or somatic cells forming basidium. Basidiospores are produced by basidium by developing a fruiting body called basidiocarp. Example, agaricus, ustilago, and puccinia. So here, what is most important is the symbiosis, symbionts. It is an association with algae and fungi, and you must remember that algae provides food, being photosynthetic, and fungi gives protection to the algae. So this sort of mutual help between the two organisms is called symbiosis. And of course, the association of fungi plus algae is what we call lichens. And the same fungi, if it is having a symbiotic relation with roots of higher plants, then we call it as mycorrhiza. So keep these technical words in your mind, and we will continue further in our next session. Until